So, Black Myth Wukong has a massive patch to fix a load of issues within the game. One thing they've also fixed they haven't mentioned in the patch notes at all is recently I covered an unlimited or an infinite mana glitch, where basically you use Cloud Step, you have Pillar Stance with Sweeping Gale, you glitch it out so that you can infinitely cast your spells. That's been patched, it doesn't work, so my video will be updated in terms of the title to say that that is patched. However, moving into the patch notes, they have fixed an issue where enabling FSR could cause crashes for some players during startup or the prologue. They have fixed the crash issue in certain areas of the webbed hollow when Nvidia full ray tracing is enabled. They've also fixed an issue where hair would stretch abnormally, and they've optimized the hair effects for the Yaoguai King Lingzhui, or I don't know how you say that name. Basically, it's Lingxuzi. And I've completely butchered it, I can already tell by the spelling. But next they have fixed an issue where certain enemies could get stuck motion in specific situations, so I'm guessing they just get stuck. They slightly reduced the stats of Yaoguai King Captain Wise Voice. They fixed an issue where the attack from Lesser Yaoguai Lantern Warden in the Pagoda realm could push players into walls. They have fixed an issue where the Destined One could get stuck whilst performing whirling thrusts in the thrust stance and it becomes unresponsive. They fixed an issue where the Destined One couldn't switch stances properly in the 6th chapter, and also where the Destined One could not encounter or could encounter stat errors in certain situations. Then they have fixed an issue where the icon for the quest related to Yaoguai Chief Daoist Mi or Mai would still appear on travel menu after the quest became unable to complete. They fixed an issue where the progress display for collecting portraits and journals was incorrect, and I'm not sure if you guys have picked up on it, but I'm useless when it comes to names. They fixed some text errors in Chinese. They've added translations for portraits in several languages, and they've optimized the existing translations. They have also added translations for song titles and lyrics in the music library in several languages, and they've corrected the display errors in English lyrics. They've optimized translations for talents, equipment, and inventory in several languages, and they've fixed some text errors. They've improved the layout of subtitles in several languages. They've optimized the translation of loading screen tips in several languages. And then it says here at the bottom, additionally, they've identified an issue where setting the system language to Turkish on the PlayStation 5 causes the game to crash on launch. But in similar fashion on the PC version, setting Windows system language to Turkish may lead to occasional crashes during certain boss fights. They've said if you encounter this issue, the current temporary workaround is to change the console language to English or another language via the main menu. So you go to Settings, System, Language, Console Language. But for PC, you have to change the Windows display language to English or another language via the operating system settings. So Settings, Time and Language, Language and Region, Windows display language. And it says they are actively working to resolve the issue and will fix it in an upcoming patch. They apologise for any inconvenience it may have caused. So I'm not sure if it's a sneaky sort of stealth patch, getting rid of the infinite mana glitch, but the one thing they haven't got rid of, which I'm very thankful for, and I'm hoping it never disappears because it should be down to a player playing a single player game if they want to do this, but the XP farming. As you guys can see in the the footage in the background, the Pool of Shattered Jade XP farm is still working, so farms and stuff, I hope they stay in the game and are left to the player's choice if they want to use them, but when it comes to something like an infinite mana glitch, it does fully break the experience. So I think this is a really, really good patch. I'm just hoping they start working on actual game optimization, because with the ray tracing set to low, with the settings on very high, running a 4080 Super, 32 gig of RAM, and an i9-12900KF, I am getting massive frame drops. I've run benchmarks, I'm supposed to be getting good, stable frames, and I've changed the settings because I was previously playing on everything maxed out, including ray tracing and everything, and it was still supposed to be high frames, but I'm getting frame drops, especially in Chapter 3, they were awful. They've kind of calmed down a little bit in Chapter 4, and they were non-existent in Chapters 1 and 2. So I think Chapter 3 is probably because of how big the world is and everything. Chapter 3 feels as though it's the biggest chapter. It'd be good if they could put out some optimization fixes and things like that, because I'm not the only one complaining about it. I've seen a lot of people talking about it. So yeah, infinite mana glitch is gone, so you can't cast your spells an infinite amount of times, but the XP farms and stuff are still working, and I'm guessing this is just the very beginning of them putting out patches. They've already reduced stats on a Yaoguai King being Captain Wise Voice, so there's probably going to be a lot of balancing that happens over the coming months and stuff, which I think is good, but I've not really seen many complaints about Captain Wise Voice. I've seen more complaints about Yellowwind Sage, I've seen a couple about Yellow Brow, So I think it all depends on the feedback the devs get and everything like that. But that is the 1.0.8.14860 patch notes. And what we are going to do is leave that video there. Let me know your thoughts and stuff about Black Myth Wukong in the comments. And I'll see you guys in the next one. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching.